Teachers. Again, welcoming all of you for our today's session. So in today's session, teachers, in today's session, we are going to cover up the academic strategies through which you can help children with special needs. So till yesterday and day before yesterday, as some of you may have attended yesterday's session as well, so we had covered up in terms of behavioral and social help, what we can give to any child with special needs. So today, in English, this session we are going to have. So today we are going to cover up the academic strategies through which we can at least help these children with special needs to gain or attain better marks in their examinations or for better class performance. So let me just share my presentation with all of you. Then I will start explaining all the points. So yes. So yeah, so when we talk about the academic strategies, so what basically we are trying to talk over here, we are going to consider the reading, writing, spellings, and so on. So anything related to academics, anything related to the subjects, and etc. So let us see through what different strategies or maybe techniques or suggestions you can say, which will definitely or up to some bit definitely is going to help any child with special need, whosoever a child is with special need is in your class or is in your school. So these strategies maybe definitely be helpful for their betterment. So firstly, we will be covering up worksheet, textbook sample, accommodations and modifications. So when we talk about worksheets or textbook sample, that means the usual textbook is not at all appropriate or enough for that particular child. But as a special educator or like any other normal teacher in the school, we have to actually allocate certain points or some strategies through which we can make their understanding of the same passages, the same chapters in a much more easier fashion. So what is our main aim? Before I start with all the slides over here, let us quickly understand for ourselves only that why this session is important. This is primarily in terms of that, okay, we have completely identified any child with special needs, but what happens after that, until and unless as a teacher, as a normal teacher or as a special educator, if I am not able to give any kind of change or manipulate any kind of change in the child's academic performance, then I believe the role of the teacher is not very much appreciable, or I would say that we have already not crossed the first stepping stone. So just to understand that bit, let us now understand what can be the simplest of the strategies or suggestions, as I'm saying again and again, for their overall betterment. So children with special needs have trouble in following assignment because of multiple reasons. So teachers, let us understand what can be these multiple reasons. That can be simply copying from the board. It can be difficult for me if I am a child with special need, maybe whichever disorder, but still it can be a problematic situation for me if I'm in the class. Second factor, what it can be, I have a lot of distraction, I have a very poor attention and concentration span, or my memory is quite poor. This can also be a problem. Then also it can be a problem that too many number of children are around me, or too many instructions are given by the teacher to me. That is why also it can have a lot of confusion in my mind. So considering teachers, all these points so definitely we can try to look up in these suggestions one by one. Amount of writing work will be limited. So if I talk about not probably the 9th standard, 10th or 11th or 12th standard, but definitely teachers, at least the primary level, we can at least help ourselves by helping the children. How we will do it? That is how we are going to do, because if we only consider or give the particular child the grades, the marking system, basically on the basis of their oral abilities, I think it will be a lot of help to that particular child if, as teachers, I only fix myself on giving or marking the child only on the written part and ignoring completely the oral part. Then I think this will definitely not be fair for that particular child. Why? Because if I talk about autism, if I talk about ADHD, if I talk about any other disorder or any other neurodevelopmental disorder, most of the times in special children, we have definitely seen, or we have also seen as psychologists, that their visual memory or imagery memory is far more better than only the auditory memory. So I will put it as an example. So if a process I have to explain to them, the way I told in the last session also, more of visual inputs. So in a way, why not, if the child is not able to only write properly, then why to mark him again and again on the writing skills? Why not to only consider the oral skills? I would think that it will be a much better option, and it will overall enhance the self confidence also of any child with special need. So give page numbers when answers are found, where answers are found. So, for example, any average intelligent child or any normal child, if I talk about, I would say that, okay, beta, okay, quickly start reading from where I have stopped. So immediately turn to page number 121 and start reading. So we have a tendency as teachers to give immediate instruction to any other child in the class. But teachers, if I talk about child with special needs, he or she takes a lot of time, at least more time as compared to other children, in terms of understanding what the teacher is saying, then to understand the instruction. So it's much more better, rather than creating a lot more confused situation for the child. It's much better if I can ask any child to help that particular child, or myself I can open directly that page number, or I can directly tell the child ki beta, please open page number 10, and there the answers are written. Now you try to search the answer and write it in your copy. So I feel this may definitely help the particular child with special need. Make it meaningful by highlighting. So if I talk about any normal or average intelligent child, he or she will be very quick in understanding, and they will be completely thorough with making their own notes independently. But if I talk about the special child, he or she will be constantly needing a lot of guidance in terms of what are the keywords, how they have to underline, when they have to mark, then with a either a pencil, with a crayon or a highlighter, there, so on and so forth. So at least we have to make it sure that we help them in marking the, in finding the answers, in marking the keywords, and in highlighting or making the small notes, which they are unfortunately not able to do independently. Last will be this, I had mentioned in the earlier session also, using visual organization strategies. That means earlier I had talked about, for behavior control I had talked about the visual schedule. So in terms of academic, if we talk in terms of writing, reading or comprehension, visually, so as I said, for me also, my, I feel the visual memory is much better than the auditory memory. So if I combine a child's comprehension power with auditory and also with visual input, a multisensory input that we are going to talk about in the coming up sessions. So a multi input system will better work for the child to memorize the things in a better fashion. If I only give lectures, if I only suggest the points, I don't think that it will be more than enough for that particular child. So strategies and suggestions related to reading and spelling. Develop a picture booklet of new vocabulary. So now giving you an example, if for me, I am maybe 7-year-old child, I am in first or second standard for that matter. For me, I have a set of words which I'm very comfortable with, like mother, neighbor, neighborhood, family, father, brother, teacher, school. So these are some 50 to 60 words definitely I will be knowing. But what about the new keywords or new English or Hindi or any other language? New vocabulary, definitely it will help the child if we make a separate file altogether, in which we can just simply paste the respected pictures, and through the pictures, below the pictures, we can write boldly in capital letters or completely black marker the spellings of the new vocabulary words which we want the child should learn in maybe 10 or 15 days span. So just a suggestion, teachers, the new vocabulary, we cannot imagine that we cannot expect that the child will learn as any average intelligent child, but the pace has to be little bit slow. At one time it should be maximum one or maximum two words which we have to cover in 7 to 10 days. If you try to give more and more new concepts to the child, I am very sure from my experience also, the child will become much more confused. So in a way, we are making his capacity to retain quite poor as compared to, rather we should try and enhance that particular thing. Second will be, keep a booklet of new words classified into categories. So example, what is written over here, if I talk about hobby, for example, hobby, what it can be, playing, dancing, singing, instrument, and so on. So if I talk about the school, so there is one category as school in the file, and there are the respected words along with the pictures. So when I talk about school, the child, in front of the child, the page should show teacher, classroom, chair, table, books, and the different names of the stationery. So in a way, what I'm trying to do, teachers, over here is to segregate different aspects of life under which I am just putting the visual pictures in front of them, and below that I am writing the new vocabulary words very boldly, so that whenever automatically the child will open the page, he will see, okay, I visually he can understand that this is called playing. But once I will see that word, so automatically I will, after seeing it for 10 times or maybe 20 times, it will be completely set in my mind that it is called, the word is called playing, and the word is called singing, or this action word is called singing, so and so on. Build a site vocabulary of words and phrases used for uh, survival. So what are the sight words? I'm very sure all the teachers must be knowing. Just a second, Akshay, please. Uh, so the sight words, as you all know, is primarily, what are those which are usually mostly used, very commonly used in anybody's life. So for in the initial years, if I give you the example, the words will be mother, father, or such words which is most commonly seen, like school. Teacher is a word which is very commonly used. Sight word means shopping. Sight words can be a pencil. Sight words can be any kind of advertisement which is written in the advertisement boards, so that if a child, if at all, just for example I'm explaining, please teachers, you can mute yourselves till the time I'm giving the session, because then it creates a lot of disturbance in between. So please आप लोग mute कर लीजिए अपना mic. So that, okay, so sight words are any words which is most commonly seen, that is जो हम advertisement में भी देख सकते हैं, हम school में भी देख सकते हैं, or in our neighborhood also. So if at all a child may or may not be able to learn from A, B, C, D, A to Z, but during this time we don't have to be very much hopeless. That means there is still quite a lot of chance and probability and possibility that the particular child will definitely try learning the big sight words. It's not necessary that if we think, okay, bachcha to A to Z hi nahi seekh paya, so can we teach him these big words like mother, father, neighbor? Yes, you definitely can teach us, but remember one thing which I have have been talking till now, without the visual cues, without the colorful flashcards, you cannot teach any child any kind of good or big or short kind of sight words. So for that, just remember, visual cues should be simultaneously used. So last will be, teachers, read using both print and non-print sources. For example, we have mentioned over here, read aloud programs. If you type it on Google, you are going to have a lot of apps also can be open in front of you. You can download it on your mobile. And stories you can probably play in their ears, like for example, I have put some kind of a headset, and some of the teachers I can see. So in a similar way, if I talk about any child with autism, so this is our personal experience from our field, that if the child about autism, he is very very distracted about too much noise coming in. So what you do during that time, to make him calm down, to make him settle down, play some light music if you have any kind of accessibility to kind of a headset or earphone in the class. And also for any kind of better teaching or study material, you can definitely have some taped recorded material. Then you can play it slowly and gradually in his ears, in his or her ears. Then I am very sure auditory along with visual input will definitely and surely teachers will give good results. If we just kind of ignore the child, if we keep on thinking for days that मैं तो शायद इस बच्चे के लिए कुछ benefit नहीं कर पाऊंगा, so once we start thinking this, I am very sure we won't be able to move a bit even. So remember, visual, auditory, again one which we will be covering in the later on slide will be touch. So touch, auditory and visual. So these three sensory processes working together leads to a lot of development in all the children with special needs, which actually, if I compare to the normal intelligent children, which we really don't have to bother at all, because they have their own pace of learning, they have their own pace of memorization. So that is never a headache for us. But for these children, definitely we have to step forward and come across with all kind of multi-sensory and multi-input learning. Okay, so now I will be talking about modifications or accommodations in writing. So if I talk about any child with cerebral palsy, or any child with dyspraxia or dysgraphia, which is a kind of learning disability, in that basically the fine motor coordination or the eye hand coordination is extremely poor. You will see that even in some circumstances, the child is even not able to form or make the correct shape of A, E, I, or in any letter or any number for that matter. And the handwriting will be very, very, very poor. Why? Because there is a poor eye hand coordination in the child, and the brain processes and the physical problems are such that they really don't help the child to perform well in their examinations or in their school. So for those kind of situations, what all you can do as teachers, as general teachers also, vary length and thickness of pencil. So what generally the occupational therapists do, sir please, sir and ma'am please mute yourselves. आप लोग म्यूट कर लीजिए, so that वो पीछे से थोड़ा सा डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा है. Okay, so हाँ सर प्लीज म्यूट कर लीजिए, थैंक यू. सो वेरी सर आपका अनम्यूट हो रहा है बार बार, आप म्यूट
विश्वास जी म्यूट कर लीजिए, बिकॉज़ मैं म्यूट कर रहा हूँ, आप मत कीजिए, लास्ट में आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिएगा.
लास्ट में हमारा जैसे ही एक बार ये सेशन खत्म हो जाएगा, देन डेफिनेटली जैसा हम हर बार ही करते हैं, वी विल हैव अ क्वेश्चन आंसर राउंड एंड यू कैन आस्क द क्वेरीज. सो वेरी लेंथ एंड थिकनेस ऑफ द पेंसिल, दिस मीन्स क्या लेंथ होना चाहिए, व्हाट विल बी द थिकनेस ऑफ द पेंसिल, व्हाई इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज दिस प्राइमरली is the duty or the task, you can say, of the occupational therapist. So once you have spoken to any child's parents, so okay, so any child's parents, you will definitely recommend them to go to the OT, which is the occupational therapist, or you may suggest them to go to the speech therapist and so on, or the psychologist. But still, teachers or as parents also, this is our prime duty कि हम सिर्फ उन therapist पे ना depend होके, we ourselves as teachers should try becoming the therapist ourselves or the co-therapist, what we call in our terms. So the length and the thickness of the pencil should vary from one child to another. For any pencils and shape and size, for you and for me, it is always comfortable. But understand, teachers, a child who is not able to have the proper gripping, then as a result you will see either the child is forcing a lot into the paper, and it is very difficult for the child to rub it with the eraser. Or if you give very small size pencil, then I'm very sure that the child will face much more problem in having any kind of writing ability. So please be very, very particular regarding the thickness and the length of the pencil. Vary writing implement like crayons, colored pencil, fine markers. So if I imagine or if I expect just normally that the child will directly, I will give a marker to the child and I will suddenly ask the child ki, okay beta, ab aapko isse likhna hai copy mein. So will it be possible for the child? The answer is no. So for any child with special need who has a lot of fine motor means related to the hands, legs, finger movement, grasping ability, either he very tightly महेंद्र जी आप प्लीज सबको म्यूट कर लीजिए, बिकॉज नहीं तो हमें प्रॉब्लम होती
मैं
रहेगी.
आपको होस्ट बना रहा हूँ अभी.
ओके. सो ये जो हम crayons की बात कर रहे हैं, colored pencils की, why? If you suddenly ask a child to write with a marker in the copy or on the chart paper, I think it will be really very difficult. But you have to talk to the parents. You have to consider the therapist that exactly for this child, what exact size crayons or pencil are suitable. Then you have to choose particularly from those stationaries, those items from the stationery, and then you have to go ahead. Third, provide various sizes of wide ruled papers. Why? The simple answer is, if I give, okay, if I give any kind of,
मैडम हिंदी
actually
में
ma'am
भी
today,
हिंदी में भी
okay ma'am, but unfortunately today's session, we have the same session tomorrow in Hindi as well. So
ओके 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 दैट्स ओके.
yeah, so sorry
म्यूट
for
ऑल
that.
कर दीजिए प्लीज. म्यूट
Yes.
ऑल करके.
Okay, let me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so why I am talking about wide ruled papers, that is why, only because if I expect that the child with special needs or with fine motor disability will be able to write anything on the given ruled sheets, so then I will be completely wrong in expecting that, and I really don't understand why I'm not able to. Okay, okay, fine, now I've done. Okay, so अगर मैं ये expect करती हूँ that okay, if I give the child the same sized copy or the same size register or anyway the drawing sheet, then the child with special need will perform at the same level. So I think the answer will be completely no, because that particular child will be needing more amount of space to put his imagination and creativity and to practice more of better handwriting. So considering all these points, we have to always give different or bigger sized copies and sheets to the child and not follow just the usual pattern in the class. So I think this will definitely help the child. So highlight or outline areas to be filled in. Why, teachers, this is very important? Because I know if the child is of 8 years of age or 7 years of age, till then we normally expect any child to be able to understand the boundary concept. But unfortunately, teachers, many children with special need really do not understand the importance of the boundary concept, and they are even not able to understand how much so they have to write and within which space they have to write. So to make it much more clear to the child, if we all want that the child should perform better, whether in the class test, whether in the revision test or in the main examinations, we always have to chalk out the boundary in his paper or on his copy only, so that the child knows that this is only my boundary limit, and beyond this the teacher will cut all my marks, or some kind of rules and regulations you can teach the child beforehand only, and not giving any instruction directly during the examination, so that can create a lot of confusion in the child's mind. Reduce the amount of writing, as we mentioned earlier, as I said earlier. Oral ability should be, ideally should be enough. But if I talk that, okay, if he's in a senior class, and okay, you have to take up the writing ability also, so minimum writing task shall be given to the child, not overburdening the child with any kind of writing skills. Allow additional time for writing. So this is, as we all know, we had mentioned it earlier also, from CBSE we already get a lot of concessions for these children. So considering that, and otherwise also, as a teacher, as a special educator, we know that in every classwork, in every class test or main examinations, we should and we have to give extra time to the child. For example, if I remember clearly, the CBSE guidelines are, if 3 hours, then 1 hour extra; if 2 hours, then 45 minutes; if 1 hour extra, then half an hour. So this you can anytime go back. This you can anytime go back and search it on Google, so that you are very much precise and you know it completely for the extra time. But at your level, please teachers, try to give a lot of input. Provide close-up model to copy from instead of board or overhead screen. Any child, if I am having autism, if I am having ADHD, or if I am having intellectual disability, for me, if you expect as a teacher that from a certain distance I am able to copy everything or listen to all the instructions of the teacher, it will be impossible, let me tell you. For that case, or in that case, the child should be given some visual cue right in front of his own chair or on the table, so that from where he can copy the answer, or there is somebody constantly as a buddy system, what we had discussed last time, like a friend, the classmate, can help him or her within, just to help in writing the answers. So we have to be very careful. If as a teacher I am getting very annoyed, I am getting very angry, that tumko kyun itna time lagta hai, why aren't you able to copy from the board anytime? So please be little bit empathetic towards the child, and understand his situation, that technically, physically and mentally, for a normal copying from the board becomes really difficult for that particular child. So what we can give as an input is, definitely we can give some visual cues or a helping hand while they are writing the answers for the classwork. This we all know, because I think some of you had only discussed that using TLMs. This is just an example. This is just some of the examples which we have mentioned over here. And let me tell you, apart from these 8 9 points, there are several kinds of TLMs or material which are available, which will be helpful for teaching the children with special need. So just for example, I will be telling you: connecting tubes, square tiles, two colored cycles, base 10 blocks, measuring tools, coins, button, pattern blocks, anything a student can touch and manipulate. So remember, teachers, again and again, I'm talking about the multi-sensory input while teaching. So why, let us understand, why do we use these TLMs? Why? Because normally we are teaching in the class, normally we are giving lectures, we are normally giving notes, we are giving everything. But why do we, as it is called, teaching learning material, something, for example, it's a phone, I can touch it, I can see it, I can read what is written inside, I can see the back side is blue colored, the front is black colored. Or if I pick up a glass, so I can see that it is something, yes, a teacher had told me about a circle. So okay, a circle shape, I can very well see it with my own eyes, and I can touch and feel that it is something circular in nature. Okay, if I see from the below, then also it's the same shape, and okay, we can preserve a lot of water in this. So Just for example, anything and everything what a child can touch and use all his senses is always better as compared to only giving notes or as compared to giving just the simple lectures. So if this is also just an example, concrete, semi-concrete and abstract. This means if at all you want to follow this example, very good. So let me take up some different example. Concrete will be like with the realistic. So one mobile plus one mobile is equal to two. So firstly, I will not ask the child to directly open up the textbook or not to directly copy from the board, but the first concept which has to be very clear in front of him should be two realistic objects. This plus one more mobile is equal to two mobiles. We have to visually show to the child. Then if I talk about the semi concrete, it will be just on the board or a chart paper. It should be the picture of the mobile, maybe the same black color only I fill it in, or gray color, whatever, or some attractive colors. So just the outline or the mobile picture I will draw on the page. Then I will try to show, yes beta, that day you remember you had seen two mobiles which was like from the back it was blue in color, front will be black in color. Similarly, we are going to today again do an activity. So in that, ma'am is going to draw two objects and then you have to calculate and tell ma'am that how many are there in total. So this is just for an example I just demonstrated, that the picture itself will be more than enough for the child. Then slowly we will be coming onto the abstract. So abstract means that finally when we are done with the concrete, when we are done with the semi concrete, then comes the abstract. That means directly the numbering will be 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So directly we are just going into the pencil or the pen activity. So no more pictures are involved, no more visual input is involved. So concrete, semi concrete and abstract. This is very important, teachers. This actually I have been talking about in the whole session till now, using multi-sensory input or teaching, what you can call. Students benefit from an approach to education that engages all of their senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste and touch. These five senses, if at all as a teacher you try to make such kind of TLMs, which is the teaching learning material, in a way that the child is able to look at it, hear if there is any sound related to it, or he can just throw the grains or something related to any concept what we are trying to teach. It has any sound element also, it will be great for the child's experience. So hearing, probably this the child can touch it and feel it that it's rough, it's smooth, it's silky, or whichever texture. He can also try to smell it, and if at all you are talking about particular smells or some food items, then only the child is able to taste them. So please consider, before you make any kind of TLMs for any kind of teaching or any concept, make it a point that you make such TLMs considering all the five sensory inputs for that particular child. Lastly, teachers, it is the brain gym for children. This I want all of you to particularly go back on Google, whether on YouTube. You can search the points one by one. Till now you can just note it in your diaries or in your register. Brain button. So I'm just for, because we don't have that much time with us, so brain buttons, this is, let us understand what exactly all this, all these points are important for. Brain buttons. Okay, so sorry, brain buttons are something what we use for improving reading, writing, speaking, and also it enhances the ability to follow multiple directions. If not multiple, then left or right. Then comes hookups. This is for improving what? For improving reading, writing, and comprehension. Cross scroll is a very common kind of a technique actually used by the occupational therapist for improving reading, listening, writing, and memory. elephant lazy or the lazy 8, what we call the elephant or the lazy 8 is for improving the handwriting. So any one of you thinking that you have to improve any child's fine motor skills of writing or making some diagrams, definitely you all can use this technique. Thinking caps, it's also very commonly very much used by the psychologist also. So tunes out distracting noises, increases listening ability, short-term memory, and abstract thinking skills. They are all benefited by this kind of a method. Energy yawn improves creativity, arm activation. So this is for the overall betterment of the child. So brain buttons, hookups, cross scroll, lazy 8, because most commonly it is actually called lazy 8 only, thinking caps, energy on, and arm activation. So if you try to follow and look up on Google as well for these 7 elements or 7 kind of techniques, which are very very brief, and this will activate probably all much more sensory inputs also and the other parts of the body as well. So for example, it can be a simple motor coordination as picking up the 2 fingers together or keeping it like this and moving one by one. So with all these very simple exercises, you all can definitely help the children to improve their overall intelligence level, overall retention power, and the ability to follow multiple instructions. So teachers, this was the presentation from our end. So now I will be unmuting all of you so that we can have a interaction also. Okay, so this is a request to all the participants. You all can unmute yourselves now because I have given the permission from my end. You all can just click on the mute button and unmute yourselves.
Yes,
Yes, so I'm
Madam,
just waiting.
There are 7 things.
Yes,
Like as
seven techniques which comes under
Yes.
7 techniques which comes under brain gym. So these are simply brain gym exercises. What
only for brain, ma'am. This
yes,
is only for brain.
gym. No, why? Because brain. So when I talk about brain, it comprises everything. Right.
Yes,
So when I talk about brain, it comprises everything: a left movement, right movement, direction movement, walking, talking, thinking, remembering, even forgetting is also a cognitive part. It's not something that okay, ठीक है, forgetting to hota rahega, but it will consider everything.
Madam, what is this hook ups, ma'am? HOOK hook ups.
So this you can find it on YouTube. You will get what we also do for any kind of demonstration. Actually, I'm sorry for that, because right now, because of the copyright issues, we actually won't be able to show you multiple videos, because what I had actually planned in that way. So because of that disability, so you can search it on YouTube for all the exercises, maximum to maximum. If a child does it for 5 minutes or in the whole day, for maximum even 5 minutes or 4 minutes, one each exercise, I think that will be really fruitful for the child. But with these brain gym exercises, if we think कि अच्छा हमने ये कर लिया, अब हमें सिर्फ brain gym में करना और कुछ नहीं करना, so I think then that will be wrong. So with other techniques, the things which we had discussed in the previous session also, along with that, these exercises as a simultaneous regime, then it will be definitely helpful for the children. So if we do not have to just pick up one out of all the points.
Madam, they are using multi-sensor teaching. 5 items here, madam.
Yes.
5 items: sight, hearing, smell, taste,
all your basic senses.
Basic senses, all.
Yes. Yes, multisensory means, for example, just for example, if I want to learn, like I was not very good in math, so if I wanted to learn for table of 2 or table of 3, it's very simple. That for any normal or average child, I will just show it in the copy 5 times. The teacher will write it on the board. He will copy and he will understand. He will just, we will scold him a little bit. Then he will be able to memorize it well. But what happens when I talk about the children with special needs is constant visual input is necessary. So if I even talk about the realistic, like 2 glasses, if I put 2 into 1, 2
into 1,
so 2. Yes, so if I give 4 glasses, so okay beta, now count 2 2 kitne hue 4. So 4. Like this, then gradually we will come to the paper and pencil things, not directly jumping onto pen. So jitna multisensory utna it's better.
Madam, there is some concrete, semi-concrete, or abstract.
Yes. So concrete is just the example what I gave it to you with the realistic objects. Semi-concrete is the one with
Semi-concrete.
only the pictures, only the flashcards will do, or the pictures.
Flashcard, yes.
Abstract is what we generally do. Acha batao kitna हुआ 2 into 2, so then we say 4. So this is abstract, directly coming onto the concept. So that is, and their abstract ability is actually poor in
Actually,
children with special need or intellectual disability.
CWSN.
Because if I say abstract thinking, just one example I will give you. When we
Oh, yes,
check
ma'am.
the IQ, when I do the IQ test on any child,
IQ
under
test, yes.
abstract, yes, under abstract ability, what question I ask? Ki, acha, you walk with your legs, but you throw with your. So then the child has to answer that, ma'am, we throw with the hands. So this is called abstract thinking. So बहुत जल्दी abstract thinking बहुत अच्छी तरह नहीं grow करती है in CWSN. That is the whole point actually.
मैडम abstract इधर में तो है सब ठीक है, तो मैडम I will take this TLM, ma'am, TLM abstract.
Yes.
Or concrete,
Yes.
semi-concrete.
TLM will always be directly related to the concrete part only, because
concrete
आपको
part.
semi concrete और abstract में तो कुछ जरूरत ही नहीं है चीजों की. Realistic things you don't need in semi concrete and abstract. Only the TLMs is to initiate some kind of new concept to the child, or we are trying to teach something new. That is why mainly the TLMs are used, or to keep in practice some revisions if we want.
Yes.
Yes,
In
so
fact,
that is why TLMs are also required. Nothing to do with like any concrete or abstract. It will be only related to concrete, not semi-concrete and abstract. आपको नहीं जरूरत होगी, हाँ.
abstract होता है, ठीक है मैडम.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. There are 8 terms of using alternative effective teaching learning materials.
Yes.
Connecting
Yes.
cause,
Yes.
square tiles,
No, so this
two
is
color tiles.
this is just for example. So it completely depends कि आप कौन सा concept सिखा रहे हो. It completely depends on that point. Otherwise, this is just for example. The objects is just for example.
Yes.
Yes. So it completely depends on you as a teacher what concept you want to start with. So it has nothing directly related to the points mentioned. So वो आप पे depend करता है. Right.
Yes, ma'am. I have written all this in paper.
Okay. Good, because I can
written.
I can see content. Yes. Very nice.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can
It's all
see that
written.
you are constantly writing something. Very good. That if our session's main aim actually is to empower more and more teachers, so that the teachers also can understand कि okay, this is my ability. मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था कि मैं इतना कुछ हम कर सकते हैं. So our main motto is that only. So it's very good that it's benefiting you, or you are benefiting out of this. So then it will be a good thing. So any other teacher over here? I can see some of them are still in the participants list. I can see. So please, I would request definitely all the teachers to please share your experiences. या आपको कोई भी query है, you can ask us. And the same session teachers we are going to have tomorrow exactly at the same time. It will be starting from 5 o'clock. The same session will be in Hindi language. Today was in English. So tomorrow with the same IDs and everything. So, and you can also tell other teachers as well. So any other teacher? Any other teacher wants to comment on anything, have any queries? You can please comment and ask. Okay, so I believe that
Good
there
evening,
are no more
ma'am.
queries. So
Good
yes,
evening,
good
ma'am.
evening.
बहुत अच्छा
Good
आपका
evening.
सेशन रहा मैम, बहुत अच्छा रहा, बहुत ही अच्छा
Thank
लगा.
you.
कल से ही मैं जुड़ी हूँ.
Thank you so
लगा.
much.
हाँ, अच्छा लगा मैम. और
अच्छा.
आगे
Okay.
बहुत ही हाँ
तो
जो भी
बिल्कुल
आप
आप कल भी आइएगा, सो आपका भी रिवीजन हो जाएगा. हाँ.
बिल्कुल. ठीक मैम, ओके, थैंक्स.
बिल्कुल, और आप बाकी टीचर्स को भी जरूर बता सकते हैं, so that whosoever is a special educator or any general teacher, so ये किसी का भी, ये कोई भी चीज कर सकता है, because any teacher is completely capable of doing and following all these points जो हमने अभी share किया है. So I'm very sure it is definitely going to benefit all of you. And thank you so much for your comments, ma'am. So, okay, so I believe that, and it's a request that tomorrow also, as I mentioned, हमारे same session है हिंदी में, so you all can join us tomorrow as well. So, and thank you so much for joining in for the session. Okay, teachers, have a
Madam,
great
tomorrow
day.
5
It
p.m.
was very
5
nice
p.m.
having. Yes, exactly 5 p.m. Are
5 p.m.
anything related to the, yes, any child with special need related, any issue, we cover up in this particular time only from 5 to 6, within 5 to 6.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
सिट CSWN का ही क्लासेस चलेगा कि और किसी पे
नहीं,
भी इसका
आप ना
apply-
अगर ये जो हमारा लाइव भी अभी जैसे ये पूरा सेशन मैं कर रही हूँ, इट इज कम्प्लीटली लाइव ऑन फेसबुक एज वेल. श्री औरोबिंदो सोसाइटी, जिस आईडी से आपको अभी दिख रहा होगा नाम, श्री औरोबिंदो सोसाइटी ZIIEI. तो अगर आप ये टाइप करेंगे तो उसमें आपको सारे A to Z हमारे 2-3 वीक से जितने भी इनोवेटिव प्लान्स चल रहे हैं, बहुत सारे अदरवाइज भी हमारे बहुत अच्छे उसमें सेशंस हो रहे हैं टीचिंग से रिलेटेड, हाउ अ टीचर शुड बी एंड एवरीथिंग. तो आप वो सब भी हमारे साथ फॉलो कर सकते हैं इफ यू
मैडम, मैं
डायरेक्टली गो ऑन टू द फेसबुक.
गूगल में जाएगा क्या मैडम? आई हैव टू गूगल
नहीं, फेसबुक ओनली इन फेसबुक you have to search Sri Aurobindo Society ZIIEI in capital. So आपके
जी।
सामने वो खुल जाएगा. So once you scroll down you will be able to see all the sessions जो भी अभी तक सारे हमारे वो constant, we are doing all the sessions every day, like constant from 10 or 11 AM onwards. हमारा अभी तक this is the last session. So this
Okay,
is
ma'am,
the
thank-
schedule.
आप लोग चाहे तो YouTube पे भी सर्च कर सकते हैं, ZIIEI के नाम से पेज है. जितने भी सेशंस हो रहे हैं सब YouTube पे अपलोड हो रहा है, तो आप चाहे तो वहां भी देख सकते हैं.
अच्छा, थैंक्स सर, थैंक्स.
ठीक है. सो आई होप कि आप लोग हमारे साथ कल भी ज्वाइन होंगे एंड बाकी टीचर्स को भी आप एम्पावर करेंगे फॉर अ बेटर लर्निंग, फॉर अ बेटर फ्यूचर. सो ओके देन टीचर्स, स्टे कनेक्टेड विद अस टिल टुमारो आल्सो एंड थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू.